Hello, IT Virtual Coffee Break. So I was talking with Carol the other day, and they had mentioned that they were going to be doing the IT Virtual Coffee Breaks. And after that conversation, I was talking to my wife about it, and she owns a small craft company, a craft coffee company out of Orlando, Florida, also based out of Jacksonville. And she was like, "How can you have a coffee break without coffee?" Okay, I'm going to help you out here. So she decided to reach out and see if we could sponsor this. And so some of you should have already gotten in the mail your packet of coffee. And today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the perfect pour over. And it will be perfect because my wife is actually my cameraman today. And anything I get wrong, she's going to let us know about it. So, no pressure. Here we go. So, a few things to know about the pour over process, right? The pour over brewing process. Today we're going to be using the Hario V60 pour over. This is the ceramic version. They also have a really good acrylic version as well. So fantastic little pour over device, and we're going to be making 1 cup. Today we're going to be using about 12 to 15 grams of finely ground coffee, which you should have in your coffee pack. I've already pre-measured that here, but the Hario actually comes with a little scoop, so you can get close to that 15 or 12 to 15 grams with this thing pretty well. Also has a couple of lines in there to kind of help get you dialed in on this. And as you go, as you practice, you're going to be able to get better and better at being able to do pour overs over time. So a couple things to talk about pour overs. We're going to be talking today. We're going to be doing the 15 grams over 250 milliliters, which is going to give you about a 1 to 15 brewing ratio. The hot water we're using today is right around 200 degrees. Now, the rule of thumb for pour overs is light roast coffees as hot as you can get the water. The hotter, the better. Darker roast coffees around the 195 to 200 degree. Water temperature works really well for that. The lower water temperature helps you kind of suss out where that break point in darker coffees, darker roasted coffees, where you're dissolving the stuff you want to dissolve and want to taste versus the stuff that you really don't want to have in your cup. So with that, let's get started. I have my Swan neck kettle here, and what I'm going to do first is I'm going to wet the filter. Now we're using a paper filter, and it's unbleached. And you can use white paper filters. That's fine. Those paper filters are bleached, so the idea around wetting the filter is to kind of rinse that papery taste out of it. The other thing that that rinsing the filter does is it gets your brewer, right, your pour over set hot. Gets it warm. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this additional water and I'm going to pour that out. And we're going to set this back on here. We're going to add our pre-measured coffee, that 12 to 15 grams. We're going to turn our scale on and we're going to tare that. All right, so now we're at 0. So the idea is we're going to add about 250 grams or 250 milliliters of water through our brewing system, and that's what we're going to capture in the cup. Another thing I will mention too is the whole brewing process is going to take about 2.5 to 3 minutes for the pour over. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our Swan neck kettle and we're going to wet the grounds. Now what we're doing here is we're adding some hot water, just a little bit of it, about 30 milliliters or so. To the grounds. Now this is going to cause something that is called the bloom, right? So your coffee is going to bloom in the middle, and you're going to see little bubbles come out of it. And what this is you're actually wetting the coffee to allow the captured carbon dioxide from the roasting process that's captured in the actual coffee grounds, right? So by wetting the coffee and letting it set for about 30 seconds, you're going to be able to release that carbon dioxide. And once the carbon dioxide's out, the water won't have any problems trying to get into the ground coffee. So it's been a little over 30 seconds and we're going to get started. Now what we're going to do is we're going to charge the pouring unit, right, where we have a nice slurry. And I'm going to continue to add water here. And I'm using a circular motion. Now the idea here is I'm trying to stay off the edges. There are some debate on whether or not you should stay off the edges or keep it directly in the center. Personally, I don't think it really matters a whole lot about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue to add water in a slow swirling fashion, keeping the grounds wet. And we're also keeping an eye on how much water we're actually adding to the coffee maker itself. So we're going to give that just a second to go down. Now, one of the things I will say about the Hario V60 is because of its wide mouth design, it has almost no resistance to the water that you put in. So, that's one of the things you kind of have to watch out for. I'm going to add just a little bit more water here. That should get us right to where we need to be. And on that last one, we're going to take a spoon and we're just going to give it a nice little stir to allow the grounds to have a nice even slurry. And we're going to give that just another few seconds to let the water drain through the grounds. And essentially what we're doing is we're doing an extraction process, right? So we're extracting, all the good stuff, the caffeine, the taste, the flavor, out of the crushed coffee beans and into your cup. So we're almost there. And it looks like we just finished. Excellent. So I'm gonna give that another shake there and move this over here. And now you have the perfect pour over in your hand. I hope everybody enjoyed this today. If you want more information, you can be able to go to my wife's website at CarverTradingCo.com. They have a YouTube channel there as well where you can also see this video, watch it as many times as you want to. And really appreciate you taking the time today. Had a lot of fun sharing this with you. And my wife hasn't thrown anything at me yet, so that means I didn't mess up too bad. You guys have a great afternoon, and let's see you at the next coffee break. That's good.